Society treats high intelligence as a biological cheat code, a guarantee of faster problem solving and success. Beneath the surface lies a complex, invisible psychological toll. A faster, more capable brain often makes navigating the mundane details of daily life significantly harder. A mind optimized for high-level problem solving frequently falls into crippling anxiety, isolation, and rigid cognitive dead ends. Seeing the world in higher resolution brings a unique set of systemic burdens. To understand why, we have to look at the highly intelligent brain as a high-performance machine struggling to process a chaotic, overwhelming world. The friction begins with how information enters the system. A highly intelligent mind bypasses surface-level data to automatically hunt for underlying patterns in every interaction. This internal scanner detects micro-behaviors that others miss, the subtle shift in a tone, the slight inconsistency in a story, or the hidden motives driving it. This sensitivity treats social cues as just another dataset. The brain analyzes the micro-tension in a smile or the specific hesitation in a breath with the same intensity it applies to a logical puzzle. By reconstructing these social signals so vividly, the brain begins to mirror the physiological state of the person being observed. This involuntary absorption of another person's weight is known as emotional contagion. This relentless stream of both logical and emotional data eventually outpaces the system's baseline capacity, leaving the individual in a state of chronic exhaustion. The primary struggle of high intelligence arises from the absolute inability to filter out the relentless noise of the surrounding world. Once the data is inside, the processing phase begins. To organize this high-volume stream of information, the brain requires constant, complex stimulation to remain operational. When that stimulation drops, the system stalls. Routine tasks and repetitive conversations fail to hit the required threshold for engagement, leading to agonizing boredom and deep procrastination. Decision-making introduces a mechanical conflict. Instead of selecting the quickest path, the brain attempts to simulate and replay every single possible outcome simultaneously. This rapid multiplication of possibilities creates a gridlocked web. Psychologists call this analysis paralysis, a state where the volume of generated data makes choosing a single path nearly impossible. This infinite branching forces the brain to recursively question everything it encounters, from established authorities and societal traditions to its own foundational thoughts. The capacity to see every possible angle creates a profound practical bottleneck, turning simple daily choices into exhausting existential puzzles. Eventually, the brain must generate an output, delivering results and interacting with external societal expectations. Society typically demands flawless performance from those labeled smart, creating an environment where a single mistake feels like total exposure. This pressure fuels maladaptive perfectionism, the rigid internal belief that anything less than total flawlessness constitutes a catastrophic failure. Social interaction faces a similar hurdle. Because the brain processes at such extreme depths, it requires philosophically meaningful dialogue to feel a baseline connection to others. Small talk often feels alienating because the frequencies do not match. This creates a profound sense of isolation, even in the middle of a crowd. The hyper-tuned brain frequently fails to connect because it is operating on a completely different qualitative frequency than the society it inhabits. High intelligence fundamentally functions as a complex mechanism for experiencing the world in rich, complicated, and often painful layers. This elevated awareness leads to periods of severe loneliness and internal confusion. Friction and exhaustion serve as evidence that a high-performance engine cannot run without strict operating boundaries. Managing this processing load requires consciously recognizing cognitive traps and limiting exposure to draining, low-level stimuli. Environment is critical. You must actively seek out individuals who match your cognitive depth, rather than burning out while trying to adapt to the shallow. That exhaustion represents the operational cost of processing the universe at a depth that most will never reach.